Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Tamara Rose Blodgett, and today's going to be a ketogenic fasting video. I want to give a little bit of an update. I've been very busy since my family was here visiting. You know how that goes. You have to slow down your normal work schedule so that you can enjoy the time your family's given you by coming to visit. And it was super fun. Unfortunately, I did gain some weight during that visit because I didn't eat as well or as clean as I usually do, and I had to start alternate day fasting again. I just couldn't get past it, guys. I just got done with my long hair video. Check it out. It's my super cute look for today. Anyhow, it's just nice to do something kind of fun and different with my hair, which I did a video on it, so I won't go too deeply into that, but I want to get right into it. What's ketogenic fasting? I want to be in ketosis. I want to be in ketosis most of the time. I feel like from what I've read with the science, the research I've done, and a few of the people I follow that also confirm the research and science behind it, that is the optimum state to be in if you want to lose fat. I don't want to lose muscle. I don't want to compromise my musculature or skeletal situation. I want to uplift my thyroid problem. I'm now taking iodine, magnesium, a multi-zinc, and all these different things to promote thyroid health and support the thyroid, since I do have Hashimoto's. And I know there's some people that are following me because they've reached out that also have autoimmune struggles. And I just want to let people know that I think this is the way. I think we're all bio-individuality geared. So with people all being humans, but all being slightly different from one another, some people have a propensity to have autoimmune challenge if they're not getting the right nutrients. And I used to think that it was just food. And food certainly helps, guys. I have a little anecdotal stuff about that, but food helps. But if you're looking at just wanting to be well, sometimes it has to be a more holistic view out of that lens. And so through the lens of total health, I started looking into minerals. And as you guys know, I started a magnesium, vitamin D tethered protocol in mid-September. And within a month, my irregularity went away. And that was my first clue that maybe food wasn't the whole answer for me, that maybe minerals and vitamins that for whatever reason my system wasn't uptaking or whatever was the answer. And so I started that, and still my thyroid number was not good enough. Even when I was eating clean and I was doing that protocol, it was like, okay, I'm missing something in the holistic approach. I'm missing something, otherwise my thyroid would be improving. And so then I went to iodine, and I won't know. It's expensive to get our blood work done. And for the first time, we're not going to be insured anymore medically because we just can't afford it in either country now. They've taken up since we started our healthcare regime here in Mazatlan, it was $1,800 a year for both of us with a really low deductible of like $500 or $1,000 US dollars. And now it's at $4,300 with a really high deductible of like $7,000. We've never used the medical one time. We've always paid out of pocket for teeth cleaning and blood work and things of that nature. And so we just made the tough decision to just let it go. We're just going to wait till we turn 65 and get whatever, Medicare or whatever that'll be, because we just can't afford to throw on $4,300 on our credit card. Just got done with the big house build, lots of things happening there, don't want any more to pay off. It's just like, we're not doing it. And really the only reason that a person needs health care in my situation would be if I got cancer. And you guys know that I don't believe in chemotherapy or radiation as a treatment. It's been proven out that it actually doesn't get rid of the cancer. It just lessens it. And then it crops up later. It's kind of almost like getting immunization. You get immunization and they say, oh, you're protected, but let's repeat it 1,000,000 times. And I have to digress, you guys. I have to digress. When we were in the military, Hubs was, they wanted to give me German measles, rubella vaccination. I said, oh, don't give me that. I've already had that. And they said, well, no, you were born in 1967. You would have been inoculated as a teenager and a young kid and stuff. So that's worn off, they told me. So I was like, that's great. So let's just give everybody inoculation, and then when the women are in their childbearing years, let's leave them wide open to get rubella while they're pregnant. That's fantastic. just a complete adult situation there. I told them, no, I have had it. And they go, well, we're taking an antibody test. I said, yeah, get after it. So they took my blood and they came back and they said, yeah, you're still showing antibodies. And they said, when did you say you got that? And I said, I was 5. I said, but I'll have those antibodies for the rest of my life. Your body doesn't forget, guys. Your body doesn't forget immune challenge, okay? I had it because my mom was crazy and she didn't want me to have any immunizations of any kind except the oral polio. I stood in line for that one. I remember that. I was about 7. But other than that, I got all of them. I got the mumps, I got the rubella, I got pertussis, the whooping cough, I got them all. And so I can't ever get them for the rest of my life. My fetuses, my 4 children I was pregnant with, was impossible for me to get it during my pregnancy. It was also impossible to get it during my lactation time frame. So it was impossible for them to get it because the minute I would have been exposed to any of those diseases, my body would have then produced the antibody and it would have gone through my breast milk to protect the child. That's a big digression. Those are the facts. Circling back around, you can laugh if you will. I'm not a big immunization person. I believe in a natural homeopath remedies that support the body as a whole. I do some silly things. I go off the rails once in a while. I have cocktails. I do things like that. I live, but for the most part, I'm very concerned about upholding my health so that my daily life can be good until such time I no longer live, right? It doesn't matter if you live to be 100, guys, if every day is a trial physically. I'm not interested in that. So that's what I was getting back to. So I went to fat fasting. And why am I fat fasting? Because I'm using basically butter. And here, 1 stick of butter is slightly less a stick of butter in the States. So it's about 90 grams here for a stick of butter, and it's 100 grams in the States. And I try to have 2 of those a day. Now, when I'm fat fasting, I just have as much as I want. And in the morning, I'll have like 3 cups of coffee. I know. Anyway, and I'll use my emulsifier or my frother. I'll put that in there with a little tiny bit of hot coffee in the bottom, like 3 tablespoons at a time, and then just a squirt of the cream that doesn't have all the junk in it. That's a whole nother video. Anyways, my gosh. And I'll froth that up, and then I'll add the rest of the coffee. And it's like a buttercino, guys. It's super good. And I'll have 2 or 3 of those in the morning. And then when I get hungry a little bit later, if I keep the fats high, I'm pretty good that way. When I get hungry a little bit later, I'll switch to decaf, and then I'll do a pot of coffee with decaf about 1 to 3 in the afternoon, and then I'll get some more fat in that way. It does not move the insulin needle. Insulin is the cause of weight gain. It is not calories, okay? It's insulin. Whatever raises your insulin, as oftentimes as it does, is the culprit. The less you raise your insulin, the less frequently you raise your insulin, the more likely it is that you'll be thinner or height weight proportionate, okay? So I'm against raising my insulin on principle unless I very much make a choice to do so. Like it's my birthday or my anniversary and I want to have that thing, that batch of fries, that cake, whatever it is. For me, I like to be able to have high fat, no carbohydrate, no glycemic index, insulin trigger food. And if I have butter all day long on my fasting day, then my body thinks it's fasting, but it's still getting the essential fat that I need for thyroid support. So I'm kind of biohacking here, guys. And I'm letting you know about it because I think women especially need more fat than men. I just do. And I think we need more water than men and more salt. Those are my feelings from self-experimentation and research. And I think you guys should look into it yourself. I just give you direction and guidance. I'm not a health professional, thank God, actually. So look at your own stuff, research your own things. If this gives you a direction to go in because you're passionate about nutrition and you want to follow along here, that's perfect, do that. But for me, now I'm back to fat fasting and I'm up 15 pounds since last year. And I'm just trying to get back into the rhythm of eating one day and eating mostly good foods, whole foods, that are not high insulin, that don't bother me. And then the next day I'm fat fasting. I'll do that regime until I get this extra weight off. And then after that, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably go back to maybe an OMAD on the fasting day and just have something simple like a steak or whatever, and just see, because I've never actually gotten down there and sort of gotten into a regime of maintaining my weight or anything. I've always just been on this kind of reaction type of thing, and I want to get away from that. And I want to enjoy my life too. So this last, Hubs is just now, we went ADF together, and he's been a real support that way, and he enjoys it as well, because it's just simpler. It's just simpler. We know if we eat every other day, we'll lose weight. Period. Now you're going, well, of course you will, because you're starving on the days you're not eating. Okay, nod your head on that one, but I'm still having 1,300 calories of fat. So if you're on the calories in, calories out, eat less, move more bandwagon, that's been debunked. That does not work. It's not sustainable. This is sustainable. If I get a touch of hunger, I can handle that. But if I was to have actual gnawing hunger, I have a way out. And mentally, that's fantastic to say, oh, I can have a buttercino, a decaf buttercino. I don't have to worry about it, starve per se, know that, feel like I'm doing something bad for my health, or using my adrenals or cortisol in order to fuel my body and give it energy. My body's got plenty of fuel because I'm having a lot of butter. And I'm having some cream, but I'm trying to keep that down a little bit because cream has a little bit there. But I'm using their box cream because what I found was that the crema de batir is got 14 ingredients in it, guys, and it's got 4 grams of carbohydrate per 100 milliliter portion, and that's too much. And I was finding that it was causing all these problems on my face. When I gave up that cream, I stopped having all these dry patches and all this nonsense on my face. And I feel like that was part and parcel to what the problem was that cream. And now I'm using the Lala, the Media Crema, and it's just boxed cream. And it has like 2 ingredients, 3 ingredients, and some of those are just to make it so it's ultra pasteurized and it's a preservative of sorts. But so far, so good. And I do like the taste of my buttercinos a little bit better with the 3 tablespoons of butter at the bottom, and then a couple squirts out of the box of the cream, and then I froth it up, and I like it slightly better. It tastes more kind of like a latte, for lack of a better descriptor. So that's what I'm doing now. And it's too early to tell, because I'm only weighing myself once a week right now, guys, and I'm just up there. I'm so up there. And I hate it. I hate it. And so I want to talk about how Hubs is making breakfast and lunch now every other day. And we had some bell peppers, orange, yellow, and red, from when the kids were here, because we thought we'd make fajitas, and then they were all like, we don't have nightshades, like their mother, of course. So I felt kind of bad, and Hubs was getting back into cooking, and he hates cooking plain like I do. I like cooking plain. I'm just like, give me the meat, salt, and butter, I'm done. And he's more like, I want seasonings, I want flavor. So I was like, well, he's cooking, so I don't want to be a jerk about stuff. So I tried the bell peppers that morning in the omelet. He put them in the omelet, and then that night he made fajitas because we were trying to use up the bell peppers, right? And they were just diced real small and everything like that. My body went absolutely no effing way, okay? I had all the stuff on my skin pop out, the little, like I have like a little blood blister. Those happen everywhere around my ears, my jawline, around my mouth. They kind of prop up, and it's just my skin being angry. And then I had a bunch of bowel disquiet, which is the feeling like you need to go to the bathroom or something, but you don't need to. So there's like distension and bloat and just kind of mild pain, with 10 being childbirth and 1 being nothing. It was kind of like a high 1 to 2 all day long. And it peaked right after I ate, like an hour after I ate breakfast, it peaked. And then an hour after I ate our supper, it peaked. And I just told Hubs, he goes, well, you didn't say anything about having any problems with this stuff. And I go, I just didn't want to complain. I told him, and he goes, really? It was a problem? I go, yeah. And he was like, okay. Because he really wants to just make us the same meal and just plop it down on plates and serve it and have me go, ooh, yum. Well, it is ooh, yum. It's not that I don't like the taste of that stuff. But to be honest, when I had the peppers, they tasted strong to me and slightly bitter. And that's how vegetables are tasting now for me. I don't actually like the taste of vegetables any longer. I can't say that about garlic and onion, but again, those don't bother me. So it's almost like my body is trying to give me a subtle signal of, ooh, don't have that. And so I won't have it again. And I've noted already that the peppers are part of the nightshade family and it's an issue. So that was a little bit on the dumb side. But anyway, try this protocol, you guys. I don't think it's dangerous. I mean, like I said, I'm not a medical professional, semicolon, thank God. But try this and see if you want to do ADF and have a measure of being able to get through it without a lot of hunger, and you don't want to move your insulin needle because you also understand that insulin is the instigator in weight gain. Try this. Eat, your breakfast and your dinner on your feed day and just prioritize high quality foods, whether it be ruminant animal, omelet, chicken, pork, fish, whatever you want to have. Make sure you eat enough though. And then the next day, try just fats. And if you drink coffee, put it in your coffee. It's the way, I don't like forking in the butter just by itself, you guys. It's pretty gross. I'm not gonna lie. It just doesn't have any appeal. The texture, the coldness, the taste, all of it just tastes like you're having a piece of fat. And that's not good to me. It has to be kind of with the animal. And that's why people have the fat and the animal protein together. The lean and the fat, because it does taste good. It's how we're meant to eat it. So if you're going to just have the fat, I recommend doing it that way. If you don't drink coffee, I don't have a real good solution. You might have to just fork in the butter, but get salted and get high quality butter like Vital Farms. Kerrygold, I've heard mixed reports on that, but Vital Farms is a brand I trust, and they source ethically all their dairy and their eggs, and I prefer to have chickens and cows having a nice life until we need something from them and their life ends. And I understand all that, guys. I get it. Anyhow, try that, ADF fat fasting. It's what I've found to be the most powerful and effective way to lose weight. It will be easier if you're already ketogenic or carnivore or ultra low carb or whatever, because you're already fat burning. And when you're fat burning. I know people have a lot of questions about that, but you just know. You can taste it in your mouth, even when you're burning ketones. I can. Subscribe, you guys. Love my video and like my channel and share it with people that you think this might benefit, because I truly believe the answer is what we eat. It is what we eat and what we consume. And the less, do the 80-20 rule, guys. 80% of the time be clean and 20% of the time be less clean, but not off the rails. And I think you'll do well. Subscribe. Talk to you soon. Love ya.